Okay, let's start, please. Okay, so these are the 4 signs. You've seen these before a lot, domain and range. What we're going to do today is we're going to use algebra. We will use algebra to solve equations. That have multiple solutions. So let's say that, I'll pick on Liam again here, sorry, Liam, you're in the front row. Liam wants a mark of 80 in this course. So he wants his mark to be greater than or equal to 80 on his report card. Okay, so what we're going to do is if we have 18 tests in the year, what he'll have to do is you should be able to find a way to solve it, say, well, what marks are you going to get on all the tests? Okay, well, it'd be 18 times 80, and then you should be able to solve for what the average mark would be. That's an easy example of what we'll be doing here for this, okay? We're doing algebra to solve for that. Let's go through how we get the rules. So I'd like to make a little table for me right now. And we're going to say, I'm just going to write x is greater than 3. Let's not say x is greater than 3. Let's call that 5 is greater than 3. Let's call that 5 is greater than 3. That's it. Okay, 5 is in fact greater than 3. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all my fundamental algebra rules here right now to make sure that we're not going to have any errors with when we do things. Okay, so let's add 3 to each side. If I add 3 to each side, what do I get? Yeah, go ahead. 8 is greater than 6. Is 8 in fact greater than 6? Good. Life is good. Okay, so what we just proved is that I can add something to both sides of inequality and there will be no issues. You can do that algebraically. Let's subtract just for fun. Let's subtract 10 from each. Okay, so that would be -5 is greater than -7. Is -5 greater than -7?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay? So life is good. What I just proved then is that I can subtract from both sides of inequality and not have an issue. Okay, let's multiply by
all your markers are messed up and it really bothers me.
Okay, if I multiply both sides by 3, I'm left with 15 is bigger than 9. Is 15 in fact bigger than 9? We're still good. I'm going to divide by 2 as well while I'm here. So I'm going to get 5 over 2 is greater than 3 over 2. So that's also a check. So you're probably thinking to yourself, Mr. Sadler is lovely, okay? You're making me make a table, and I'm checking all the time. That's great. There's got to be an x coming here somewhere, and there will be an x right now. All right, so it looks like to me that I can multiply and divide and subtract with no issues. I'm going to change this now. I'm going to multiply by -2. Okay, if I take my inequality, what's 5 times -2? Thank you, good. What's 5 times, oh, sorry, it's -2 times 3. Is -10 greater than -6? Definitely not. And the same thing, if we divide by -2, you're going to end up with -5 over 2 is greater than -3 over 2, which is also false. Okay, now this gives us a major algebraic problem. Okay, Because if you can't multiply and divide by a negative, how can you do algebra? Well, we're going to cheat. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to say that when solving inequalities, all algebra rules are the same. Except you must flip the inequality sign when you multiply or divide by a negative. Okay. All right, I don't know how I'm going to do this to make it clear, but I'm trying to say this. This is on the final exam. This is the worst done question by far for last semester's 3U, and I don't know why. Okay. If you want one thing to remember from today, okay, it's not that, you know, this is going on in the cafeteria or I'm getting ready to go across the sea in 2 days. What you should remember from today, one thing is what's written on that right-hand board. Okay, because this will be about 3 marks on the final exam and on the next test on the assignment. And this should be piece of cake, easy, but people make it very difficult on themselves. I will do 3 examples, Emily, and life will be good. I'm not going to get into that. Here we go. Example 1. Says negative 2x plus 5 is less than or equal to 12. Okay, so there's my regular thing. Now, the way we're going to do this, I'm actually going to I want to use Spider-Man here, but I want to avoid 3M students. So I'm going to start with you. Can you catch? Please don't break some of that. Right. So negative 2x plus 5 is less than or equal to 12. Say, when you look at this originally, okay, you're saying that looks scary. Just pretend that said equals 12. What would we do if that said equals 12? If that was a square, you would, right? Let's say it was negative 2x plus 5 equals 12. How do we solve that? Bring the 5 over, okay? What's the 5 going to turn into? Negative 5. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. And that's going to be then negative 2x is less than or equal to 7. Okay? All right. Bailey, you're up. If this is an algebra question and it said negative 2x equals 7, what would we do? You'll have a negative 2. Okay? So we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. But there is an issue with that. Because it says we can't, that's our except. I'm going to say and flip. So what that's going to change into is x is greater than or equal to negative 7 over 2. So do you guys see what I did there? Right, the less than or equal to sign, switch to greater than or equal to. And that's the only difference. Okay, and I get to much more awesome stuff here in a second, Kylie. Okay, so you will be impressed by this. Are you escaping on Friday too? Well, here's gone. Like here's going across. Grace, 2. Anybody else? Boys, 3.
I'm just not going to be here.
Yeah, I'm not here Friday either.
What would your father say?
He likes to ski. So he'd say.
All right, example 2. I want to keep going here, so I'm going to keep moving here. Example 2. Please put a star and heart beside this question. Okay. This one will be on your test and your final exam and your assignment, I guarantee. Now, this looks hideous. Okay, I look at this question, it gives me nightmares at night. No, it doesn't, okay? But when you first look at this, it looks awful. Okay, Alex, I'm going to start with you. We're going to pretend this is a regular algebra question. There are 2 equal signs there. That's the frightening part, okay? So we're going to do the balanced approach. let's just forget about the left-hand side. Let's just say it said -3 bracket x plus 4 divided by 2 equals 20. What would you do?
Think about the brackets.
Switch the 20 sides over or foil.
You want to FOIL?
That,
Well, all right. I was hoping we would do that. Yeah, I was hoping you'd say multiply by 2. Okay, but you can FOIL 2 if you want to. So I'm going to multiply by 2. But here's the thing: we're going to multiply everything by 2. Okay, that would have worked to distribute as well, okay, but, so what I'm gonna do is think of this the same way in a regular algebra question, Tristan, where we do like the left side, right side thing, the same thing to the left, the same thing to the right. In this case, we're gonna multiply by the middle, we're gonna multiply the left-hand side and the right-hand side, okay? So this is gonna be then 20 is less than or equal to -3, x plus 4 is less than or equal to 40. So I multiplied the middle by 2 to get rid of the fraction. Right, I multiplied the left-hand side by 2 just because it balance to all 3. Is everyone okay with the first step? Good? All right, Kylie, if I have -3x plus 4 equals 40, what would you do next? Sounds good to me? Okay, so I'm going to call that 20 is less than or equal to -3x minus 12 less than or equal to 40. Okay. Okay, now again, you don't have to do that to all 3 sides because like you're not doing like a left side, right side thing. All right, Noah, what else would you do? If it was -3x minus 12 equals 40, what would you do?
You can add 12.
You would add 12, but you're going to add it to all 3 here. So we're going to add 12 to all 3 parts. So you're going to get 32.
would it be -12 or
Just 12, right? Because like you want this to cancel out, right? So like, go over here. If I do 3, you want to go to the -12, so when it comes across, it's going to be a plus, right? So -3x, right? Like for regular algebra. All right, so I'm going to call that then 40 plus 12, which should be 52. All right, Luke. Last step. If it was -3x equals 52, how would you solve that? Good. So that, because it's an inequality, what's the extra special step we have to take? Yeah. Now please note it's only for a negative. Notice up here on the first step I multiplied everything by 2. I didn't flip anything, right? It's just for negative. So I have. So I'm going to call that then, does 32 over 3 work? No, it doesn't. 52 over 3, that doesn't work either, does it? Okay, I'm going to give one of these for you guys to try right now, then I'll move on to quadratics. Okay. Are there any major questions on what just happened there? It's just algebra, that's all we're doing here, okay? It's a little extension on algebra. Alright, but that's not it. Sort of good? Okay. I'm going to write an example 3 on the board, then I'll get you guys to try this. That's okay, as long as you get good question. Okay, so Liam says, Mr. Sadler, I didn't FOIL, I just divided by 3. For the nice thing about algebra is there's always like 20 different ways to go from the top to the bottom. So imagine this like a ski question. You're skiing on Friday, okay, right? So not everyone goes down the same track, they'll also be down to Bear, you'll be down to Bear ground, right? So you guys are all over the place. It's the same thing for algebra, right? I try and show you, like I'm on the bunny hill, like I try and show you the bunny hill strategy from the top to the bottom. If you want to take the black diamond all over the page, feel free. Okay, right? I'm sorry, I don't know what
I love it. No, that's one of your better.
Example 3 says, okay, be brave please and try that one. That says -2 bracket 3x plus 5 over -3.